In breaking news tonight, the SABC has reliably learned that the NPA has decided to charge the DA's Shadow Minister Glynnis Breytenbach for contravening the NPA Act and obstructing the ends of justice.
The case relates to allegations that Breytenbach and her former lawyer refused to hand over official laptops and computers in 2012 when the authority investigated her for alleged misconduct. Breytenbach headed the NPA's Specialized Commercial Crimes Unit at the time. They are expected in court on Monday.
Well, Breytenbach has confirmed the charges against her but has declined to comment. Well, for more on this particular story, we're now joined by the NPA spokesperson, Mfako, who joins us on the line from Pretoria. Very good evening to you, Mr. Mfako. Just tell us how these charges came about.
Good evening, Peter, and your viewers. We can confirm that the NPA has decided to arraign the former head of SCCU, Advocate Breytenbach, and his then legal representative, on charges of obstructing the ends of justice and the contravention of the National Prosecuting Authority Act. The offense and these charges emanate from the investigation that was conducted internally by the NPA, where he refused to hand over an official laptop assigned to her, and thereafter deleted or shredded the information that was contained in that laptop, which is in contravention of the National Prosecuting Authority Act.
All right, so now this happened in 2012. We're in 2016 now. Why are these charges only being proffered now?
Investigation is not an exact science, it's a process, and therefore we had to follow proper investigation processes and ensure that we've got reasonable prospects of a successful prosecution. We don't just decide to prosecute. We're firmly aware of the fact that the prosecutorial discretion is a very powerful tool. It can destroy people's families. So we always very cautious when we take that kind of a decision. So the NPA looked at the merits of the matter and decided that there are prospects of reasonable prosecution here. Therefore, that is why we decided to proceed with the charges.
So some people might say that, there's might be some political overtones in this case. You charged her with misconduct, 15 charges in 2012. She was cleared. And then I think in 2014, more charges of corruption. Not sure what happened there, but it seems that there's this relentless need to bring something against her.
The disciplinary process is a process that runs its own course. We let that process proceed. It was finalized, but criminal investigation and the prosecution it's another process. We are not politicians. We do not embark in the political arena, and therefore we take prosecutorial decisions informed by the National Prosecuting Authority policy directives. So there is no political considerations whatsoever. We consider only the evidence that is contained in the docket.
All right. I think at the time she was saying that she was victimized for going after, I think it was Mr. Mdluli at the time. So you dismiss that. You're just saying she broke the law and she needs to face justice. Nobody's
above the law. If we firmly believe that there are prospects, there's a prosecutable case, we will prosecute. The NDPP and his directors of public prosecutions will not hesitate when there is sufficient evidence, admissible evidence and credible evidence to institute criminal proceedings.
Oh, so what happens now?
They are appearing on Monday in the Pretoria Magistrate Court. That is on the 15th.
All right, okay, that's where we'll leave it. Thank you very much indeed. NPA spokesperson Mfako telling us that former NPA prosecutor Glynnis Breytenbach, now with the DA, of course, is facing charges for defeating the ends of justice. We'll have more on that story as the evening proceeds.